Let's look at how to use the checkbox control in the design of our app's user interface. The checkbox is a really simple control that will change the state between on and off, or true and false, every time the user clicks on it. When that happens, the control raises the value changed event handler so we can implement it in our code in order to get an act based on the new state of the control. In our example app, we have two checkbox controls with their value changed implemented, so the associated code will update a label displaying the current checkbox state every time the user clicks on them. As you can see here, we are doing that by assigning the new state value as text to the text property of the label in the layout, plus our static string so we can know what checkbox has been clicked. When we run the web app, we can see how clicking on any of the checkboxes will update the label in the page to reflect the current value, setting it to true or false. This is exactly the same when you're using the checkbox control in the design of desktop apps with Xojo. As you can see here, we have the same design for the UI with the value changed implemented in the two checkbox controls and executing exactly the same code we did for the web example project. So every checkbox is going to update the label text property to reflect the current state of the click checkbox to true or false. When we run the desktop app, we can see how it behaves exactly in the same way. When we click on the Option A checkbox, the label is updated to reflect that the current value is set to true. And when we click on the Option B checkbox, we get that same information in the label. And when we're looking at mobile apps, these lack the checkbox control, but they do include the switch control instead. So basically, the switch control offers the same behavior that the checkbox does. The only difference is that the switch control does not offer a caption property and the checkbox does. But as you can see, the name of the event raised every time the user taps on the switch control is the same, as is the case with the value property we can read or set via code in order to check the state of the switch control instance at any given time. Thus, we can use exactly the same code we were using in our web or desktop apps. The code associated with the value changed event assigns to the text property of the message label the value we get as a Boolean from the switch and converted to a string. When we run the app, we can see how tapping on every one of the switch controls of the user interface updates the label property text to reflect the state of the tapped switch.